Good morning, this is DigiFox here on the DigiFox Labs channel. Today we're going to be talking about a Roth IRA, specifically one that holds cryptocurrencies. Now, why would you be interested in putting money into a Roth IRA, specifically one for cryptocurrencies? Well, that's what we're going to talk about, as well as give you some selections as well as my opinions on which ones to pick. Now, first and foremost, this is not financial advice, nor am I a financial advisor. Anything and everything you put into investments based off of what is said on this channel is 100% your responsibility, and you could potentially lose your money. Right, let's get on with it now. According to Investopedia.com, a Roth IRA is a special kind of IRA, right? It was developed in 1997 in the US, right? And what you need to learn or take away from it is that the amount of money going into a Roth IRA is actually taxed. At which point then, at the end of said Roth IRA agreement, contract, or what have you, when you pull out those funds upon retirement, they're 100% tax-free because you would have already paid the tax prior. So it's like think of it as like a shell, if you will, a protection. Once you go like a little critter going into its shell, it goes through all these dangers and being eaten, right? And maybe it'll lose a leg, but then once it reaches its shell, it's safe from all the elements, right? So what does Investopedia.com tell you about this? Well, you could contribute periodically. Max is $6,000 unless you are 50 years old, at which point then it is $7,000 to contribute. So every year, those are your limits, okay? Also, make sure that to periodically remind yourself that if you withdraw, there are penalties involved, right? So if you, I believe the withdrawal age is 59 and a half, right? So if you withdraw any money prior to that, you will be not only taxed, but you will also be penalized based off of who the IRA is held with. So that needs to be definitely took into consideration, okay? So if you're interested in opening up a Roth IRA, specifically with cryptocurrencies, I highly recommend one service, and that is iTrust Capital, okay? Personally, here at DigiFox Labs, we are involved with iTrust Capital, but they are not a paid sponsor. They have no say in what we are discussing here currently today. It is 100% our opinion, and we are just sharing information as far as what we have done and why, okay? Now, the reason why you want cryptocurrency in an IRA is because if you contribute the $5,000–$6,000 maximum that a Roth IRA can hold, we all know the gains in cryptocurrency are massive, absolutely massive. So whereas if you were to put $6,000 in a Roth IRA in the stock market and held it for so long, you could potentially have made what, 10–20x on that? Whereas if it was cryptocurrency, that would have been in one single cycle, right? And it's still in its infancy. There's still 20 years before it's mainstream, and things are on the blockchain that we don't even know are on the blockchain, okay? So iTrust Capital is definitely one that needs to be considered, right? They are 100% US regulated, okay? As they indicated here, is tax advantages, low cost, 1% trade fee. So every trade that you do, every transaction that you do, short of putting money in and short of taking money out. If so, this is essentially an account. Think of it as like an exchange. So every transaction, every buy, every sell order within this account has a 1% fee, okay? And then spot, and we're going to talk about this as well. Gold, $50 spot, right? You could trade 24 hours, right? So, iTrust Capital, highly recommended. Now, there are some things that we are going to discuss about iTrust Capital. Things that are definitely positive and things that are kind of not so grand, okay? They are widely known in the crypto community, but one thing that must be considered is security, okay? So, they use Coinbase custody, who are also regulated as well as on the stock market. But one thing you know is, or you have to know is, you do not own your keys. You are giving custodianship up of your money, okay? You do not own the asset. You cannot put it on a ledger. It is like leaving your money on an exchange, but wrapped in a Roth IRA. Okay, they use Kor Finance to help with any failures, right? As far as cold storage elements. So it is also key to know that they've been hacked, and I believe recently, yesterday or 2 days ago, they were actually there was a hack that was attempted on them again. So that is something you need to keep in mind, okay? They also offer gold and silver, right? And they're the mint on Canada. Okay, so you could trade gold, silver, and a few selected cryptocurrencies, which we'll get into as well. Okay, these are the advertisements here. Okay, so how it works. Okay, let's see. I'm curious to see if they're going to be able to show me what coins they offer. All right. Let's see here. No. Oh, there we go. Cryptocurrencies. Right. These are all the ones that they offer. It's not many by any means. But it is something to look at. They even got bloody well sheep in there. Right. And they have some more coming soon. Avalanche, which I highly recommend that one. But unfortunately it's not out. So they offer Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Chainlink, Polkadot, Litecoin, Compound, Uniswap, EOS, Stella, Bitcoin Cash, Dogecoin, Sushi, Yearn, Matic, Aave, Solana, Curve, BAT, Engine, Algo, Atom, Tezos, Maker, and SHIB. They used to offer XRP, but due to the SEC law case against Ripple, they removed them. Also key to note that XRP had an airdrop. They had a snapshot in December 2020, I believe it was, at which point then a year after, which would be around this time frame, you were going to get airdropped F.I.R.E Finance tokens, okay? iTrust Capital came out stating that they were not going to give you your airdrops, right? So keep that in mind. Anything here that potentially in the future would have an airdrop, right? You're not going to have dropped into your Roth IRA account, okay? This is strictly for trading, and it needs to be treated as such, or investing. So essentially invest in Bitcoin, leave it there for I don't know how many years until you retire, and then go ahead and withdraw it. So as you see, not many coins. Now, we have funds in a iTrust Capital Roth IRA. Granted, we did open it up some time ago, and it's nice to know that the gains are coming with anything related to cryptocurrency. So if Bitcoin goes up, obviously our Bitcoin goes up. If Solana goes up, it goes up, right? But what's the plan for us is once we start getting closer to the peak, right, going up, we're just going to start selling and we're going to stay on that cash. So all those gains that we're going to get, right, let's say we invested 6 grand and we 10x'd and we sold early, right, and early would have been $60,000, right? We just sell $60,000 and we wait. We have $60,000 in a Roth tax-free IRA to buy the dip in the bear market. At which point, there's rumors and speculation that the next bear market is going to be the last bear market, right? As far as cycles are concerned. So imagine, if you will, having $60,000 potentially, actually no, not potentially, guaranteed to be tax-free of capital gains from the United States or Canada or Australia or United Kingdom, right? Imagine having tax-free money, $60,000 worth, to buy the bloody dip. We all know it's going to happen. We all know this bubble's going to pop, right? Imagine that. Imagine being able to buy Solana, right? Solana at $80, $100. Or if you missed Ethereum, right? You're just now getting in crypto. It's going to crash back down probably to what? 2,000? Okay, buying the dip of $2,000 with $60,000. And then you just hold on. You just hodl for dear life. And that's it. You're done. Polkadot. It hasn't even mooned yet. Chainlink hasn't mooned yet, right? So think of that. Stella hasn't gone yet. Okay, so which ones, you may ask, are we involved in? Well, Chainlink is one of them, right? And you're wondering, why Chainlink? Why do I have Chainlink in an IRA? It's done nothing. It's been sleepy. It's stagnant. It had a little peak some time ago to what, $50, and now it's at 40, but it's taken so long. Why Chainlink? Well, if we look here, is this updated? Is it really $34? Fantastic. Oh, hold on. No way. It can't be. This must be. Oh, excuse me. It's $33. Anyway, that's a buying opportunity right there. You had to hear first. So here we are. We got a max, right? Look at that. Oh, that's a lovely little channel it's creating right there. Look at that. Anyway, its peak was $51. So if you were to buy it right now, $33, you're going to make some money. You're going to make some money in your Roth IRA, okay? Just to get to all-time highs. So you're thinking, oh, so what? You know, I don't know. Chainlink is a slow mover. Well, it's making money is a marathon. It's not a sprint, is it? Right. So if you look here, right, it's currently a buy, according to my indicators, right. And the next target, right, long term or mid term rather, let's just say mid term. The next target, according to the Fibonacci retracement tool, is around $70. So we're going to come here, probably meet resistance, flip this into support, stagger around here for a minute, and then we're going to slowly trickle up or maybe boom up to $70. Who knows? But that's my prediction, and that's what I'm going with. So that's why we have Chainlink in our Roth IRA. Okay? Not to mention all the things that Chainlink does. They are the biggest oracle in the entire crypto space. It is massive. And in my opinion, I feel like it's suppressed down. I believe that they are legitimately holding it down. Because it doesn't make sense to have all these oracles to be literally the data for all DeFi or most DeFi, and to be only what? $30. And you have half of the supply. Yes, there's a billion tokens, but only half of the supply is circulating. It doesn't make sense to me, man. It really doesn't. But they have market data, weather, sports, keeper, randomness. And like, my God, like it's just ridiculous how this technology is so undervalued. It really, really is. It is everything that the CEOs are talking about. Chainlink, you have Aave, Celsius. I mean, God, get in Chainlink. If not for the Roth IRA, at least own some for yourself. So you may be thinking, well, I'm not a trader. I don't know. I'm still uncertain about Chainlink. Okay. So then how about this, right? Telecom, Chainlink supporter. T-Mobile, for those of you that are not aware of who Telecom is, right? So they own nodes. They operate with Chainlink. They have a partnership with Chainlink. Come on now. Get you some links. Get you as what's his name? Chico Crypto says, go ahead, acquire some stanky linkies. Get you some stinky linkies. But they have a partnership with T-Mobile. Right. So what is the next coin that we have in our Roth IRA? And that is Kor Finance. Why is that? So you need a DeFi. So we have an Oracle, and now we need a DeFi coin. And based off of every coin that they have currently, there's only a few selections that we can make. You know, we have Maker, we have Yearn, we have Aave, Curve itself, Comp. Uh, I believe that's it, right? Yeah, that's it. You could classify Chainlink as one, but that's more like an oracle. And I believe that is the only oracle on the list with I Trust Capital. So with that said, we're going to go with Kor Finance. It is quite reputable. They have been hacked, and I believe they're, as I stated before, they were there was a hack attempted earlier on. So so we're going to look at what exactly Curve is, and it's essentially just a protocol where you get yield on your assets on a, ironically, on a yield curve, and they produce some solid APY. For example, you know, you have on UST, which is the Luna stablecoin, 2%. On EU RT, right, you get 37%. So you know these are very uh, small numbers, right? But at the same time, if you look rewards, here's the other rewards, right? So what is this, right? So we're looking at token APY based on current prices of tokens and reward rates. So these are the rates that you're going to get, right? Boom, boom, boom. A lot better than most established banks give you, right? Okay, base APY as variable APY based on today's trading activity. So this is the volumes. So it looks very much 1990s, right? Website, but it is reputable, right? To an extent, of course, and there is absolute risk whenever you do invest, or not invest, but rather put money in protocols, right? You could lose it. Here's all the pools, okay? A decent amount of them, right? Some of them probably you never even heard of. Um, you know, you have Badger, HBTC, OBTC. There's so many pools, right? DYDX, I saw. They have a DAO, right? Which I believe is the CRV. We're not going to connect right now. That's unfortunate that they're not going to allow. Wait, are they? This is taking a bit too long. So we have Curve in our Roth IRA. Okay, so yes, we could pick the other ones, right? But this is where DigiFox is speculating, right? We have the market cap of 1 billion, right? Fully diluted valuation is 13 billion. Locked up is 21 billion. There is still room for this to grow. Quite a lot of room. That's like essentially a 10x before all of these blokes and ladies decide to shit on all of us at the peak. The circulating supply is actually 400 million, right? And then you have max supply and then total supply. I'm assuming total supply is what's available to the public, and then these are locked away, or maybe on standby for early investors, venture capitalists, if you will. So we look at the market cap, and then we go over here, and we're going to go to compound, which is also available on I Trust Capital. But as you can see right here, fully diluted is 3 billion. Market cap is at 2 billion. So there's very limited room to grow, and the price is at $350. Total supply, which most of it is already out, is 10 million coins. And then we look at here at Aave, also $300. Market cap 4 billion. Fully diluted is also 4 billion. Max supply 16 million. Circulating 13 million. So if I'm new to crypto, right, and I go on my Coinbase and I'm looking at DeFi, and I've heard DeFi, and it's like, oh, which ones are DeFi? And the obvious ones come up is Aave and Compound, and then Kor Finance. And I've only got $1,000 to work with. I'm pretty certain that most people new to the space is going to pick Curve strictly based off of this right here. Ignoring all of this, ignoring any of this, right? Oh no. So just keep that in mind. I'm speculating that it's going to be FOMO heaven and there's more room to grow. Therefore, it's going to shoot up exponentially. And we must keep in mind that this is a long base. We are talking literally years of it just moving sideways. Yes, it's gone up and down and maybe moved up a couple of dollars, but at the end of the day, look where it started from. Even if you want to discontinue this line right here, look at this. Look at this. 544. Once it gets beyond that, which it's testing it and its resistance, next level is who knows what, right? So do keep that in mind, right? And we're going to go to the charts here, and we're going to see the next level is actually $6 according to the Fibonacci retracement level, as well as, look at this, look at here. Is this a double bottom? It looks it to me. On the short term, on the 4-hour, it looks like a double bottom to me. And here's the Fib retracement. We got $6 as a target. If you want to be technical, according to my Fib retracement, is $6.20. And we are currently at $4. So that's roughly what? About 50%. So I'm okay with that. And we have the 50 and the 200 MA lines, right? And we are banging off of it. So to us at DigiFox Labs, we are definitely putting money in Curve, or rather we already did, to ride that trade up as far as the DeFi side. Okay, so what else we got here? So we have an article from Mondak, published on 26 October by Sebastian Suchet. Forgive me if I mispronounced you, but this article is indicating SEC Chair Gary Gensler considers implications of AI and crypto on finance. Right. What's involved? I believe that is DeFi. So you have Comp, you have Aave, and you have Curve in your Roth IRA. Now, if you look at past videos many months ago that we produced, you will see the connection between Algorand and Kor Finance, if I'm not mistaken, and M.I.T, as well as Gary Gensler. Now, in summary, keep in mind, Gary Gensler was at M.I.T. He was at M.I.T. Very good friends with the head of, I believe, computer science, which they had a blockchain school or club or what have you, at which point they helped produce and facilitate the Algorand blockchain. M.I.T and Algorand have a blockchain connection. Have a connection. Also, Algorand made a partnership with Kor Finance. That is a bit tinfoil, but it needs to be said. So I believe Kor Finance potentially could be one of the, if not the winners, as far as DeFi goes and regulations that are ever impeding. Okay, so I will provide a link to this article. I just wanted to show all this because it goes with my thesis as far as why I'm picking Curve over all the other DeFi platforms within my Roth IRA and potentially even outside of my Roth IRA. So that's why. Now, next coin. I do know I'm going to be applauded, but more so bashed for this. And the coin of choice is Stella. Why Stella? Well, as stated earlier, XRP was actually part of the iTrust Capital Roth IRA, but was removed due to SEC. The only coin similar and that moves the same amount of ferocity as XRP is Stella. So, if you don't know, Stella actually is created or was created by the same person that created XRP, or at least assisted in it, and that is Jeb McCaleb, who also was part of Mt. Gox. Anywhere he touches flourishes, except when he leaves, it tends to go the other way. So Stella is still part of the portfolio options, and that is what we picked. So why Stella? Well, it's easy transactions, it's cheap, it's stagnant currently, going sideways forever, and when it does move, it bloody well moves within the 3 digit of percentiles. it's a no-brainer that you must have Stella in your portfolio just to ride those gains. But look at the partnerships that they have. Circle. If you don't know who Circle is, I highly recommend you do some research on Circle. But in summary, they are actually USDC. This is the face behind USDC. They will create a huge they'll be essentially the stablecoin, if not one of the major stablecoins, at least in the United States potentially. MoneyGram. Stella Foundation put a stake in MoneyGram. This came after Ripple, the company, helped MoneyGram get out of their financial worries. At which point then Ripple sold a majority of the shares of MoneyGram after making like, I think it was like 2-3x, which is phenomenal, right? All within like a year or two. I believe it's 2 years. All right. And then get this. MoneyGram stated they did not want anything to do with Ripple after the SEC lawsuit came, at which point Stella came in and assisted MoneyGram. So you have two partnerships here that cannot be ignored whatsoever. Okay. Right. So this is how it works. Essentially, it's micropayments. It is centralized. They also have MoneyGram, Lightnet, Stella Expert, Tala, like look at Anchorage, Anchor, blockchain.com, of course, Ledger Nano. So definitely get Stella in the portfolio. Right. And now looking at the price, it's at 38 cents. I mean, it hasn't even gone to all-time highs yet. Look at this. And without even looking at a detailed chart, look, what does this look like to you? Right? For you traders out there, what does that look like to you? Okay. Looks like a bloody World Cup, a broken handle. But at the same time, it still hasn't hit all-time highs. So once it does hit all-time highs, okay, we are looking at, according to the Fibonacci retracement, $1.12, maybe $1.10, because you're gonna have people that try and front run the sell-off. So definitely over $1 is on the table for this next pump up. So I'm not missing it. As you can see, we're about to have a golden cross. Look at that. And this is on the daily. So maybe on the 4-hour we've already done it, but on the daily, here we are. So also one last thing on Stella. The World Economic Forum and the Stella Foundation. This is huge. If you don't know that by now, I highly recommend you do your own research on the World Economic Forum and the agenda that they have. They have a partnership with the Stella Foundation, and also Danielle Dixon is the CEO of the Stella Foundation. Now, who is she? She is a heavyweight in the legacy financial systems, right? So we just, I thought it was going to pull up her. Oh, wait, is this her LinkedIn? It is her LinkedIn. All right, I don't know if it's going to come up, but we're just going to go ahead and open up a whole new page. Okay. And paste. Right. Right. So apparently the Stella Foundation, Visa is on board. Circle, as we mentioned before, is on board with the Stella Foundation. I'm trying to see her history. I believe it was Goldman Sachs she's with, but I highly recommend you just Google her and look at her past history and where she's been. She is someone that you do not want to ignore. Okay, so those are the three coins that we've decided to invest in with our Roth IRA with iTrust Capital. Again, just a quick recap. You're able to buy gold and silver, those cryptocurrencies that we went over earlier, right? Dogecoin, Bitcoin, all these here. Not many, but enough. I mean, bloody hell, they have sheep. They have sheep. Amazing. They do have customer service. Usually, just like anything, it's got an AI bot, right? And then if you still want to talk to someone, go ahead and set up an appointment, and they'll either A, video chat you, B, call you, or email you, whatever you prefer. Of course, the tax advantages with a Roth IRA. Now, the downside, right? There's no mobile app, right? You can use it and access it on your mobile, but they don't have a designated app for it. That's a bit annoying. Also, there is a monthly payment. I believe it's $29, somewhere around there, a month. So you need to keep it open. I believe the minimum account balance after a certain amount of time has to be $2,500. Obviously, if you lose money, they're going to give you some kind of leeway on that as well, because it is volatile. Cryptocurrency is. But that is an issue for some as far as the monthly payments. But it does provide access to a Roth IRA tax-free-ish upon retirement source of income. So if you think about it, that's roughly what, $300-400 a year. But then what if the account holds 60 grand in 1 year, right? And then like in 5 years it's worth, 6 figures, right? At the end of the day, you're paying hundreds of dollars a year for however many years until you're 59 and a half, for millions potentially. Okay, I'm willing to do that personally, and it's not my only retirement that I would put my faith in. You need to diversify as far as your retirements go. So whether it be housing, Roths, 401ks, even getting a second citizenship, maybe. But definitely it should be considered an option, right? Again, there's no airdrops, and you don't own your keys as well. There's another issue. And some people do have issues with the 1% fee. They feel like it's not right, paying monthly fees and then 1% transaction fees. But at the end of the day, if you just buy and hold the asset, you've only paid your 1% transaction fee on a small sum. So keep that in mind. If you want to trade within this account, you could do so. But again, it's a 1% fee. So those are the three that DigiFox Labs has invested in the iTrust Capital Roth IRA. They do offer SEP-IRAs and I believe traditional IRAs. I don't know if they provide 401ks, but SEP-IRA is an option, and I believe traditional IRAs is the third option on top of a Roth IRA. So again, none of this is financial advice. This is just our opinion, documenting our journey. So happy days. Good luck trading.